All right, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the 2021 International Climate Action Challenge. Would love for you to pop into the chat there. Let us know where you're joining from. And yeah, gosh, we're so excited for our day today. Let's see, we've got some folks from Mexico. Hi, Karen from Mexico. We've got a couple of our board members on here. We've got Sarita. I'm going to pop her up to be panelist with me in a second. Oliver, nice to see you. Yeah, Jeff Kinsey, Jeffrey Poe, there's some of our sponsors, Twigs & Co. Yay. Thank you everybody for hopping on. All right. Oh, we've got Jaxon. That's great. One of our board members. Okay, so we're super excited and we have so much crazy, wild stuff that we're doing today. Let me just do kind of a quick intro so you know what we have happening. All right, so we're on day 2 of our Impact Summit for the 2021 International Climate Action Challenge. And in this first half hour, we're going to be featuring our Denver teams. Then we're going to go on to Kenya and Zambia, actually. Then we'll have a happy hour. So we've got a short happy hour, like 30-minute slot there. And then we're going to be talking about how you can be part of the 2022 challenge, how you can join us with Green Team Academy, and then we'll go on to our Uganda and Sudan teams. So we are super excited about all of this. And now I'm going to, and I just wanted to mention also, we'll talk about it in a moment too, but if you want to join our Tree Heroes Wall of Fame, you can donate $25 and we will plant a tree in your honor. Okay, so with that, let me go ahead and stop the share. I have no idea if I shared the right screen. I might not have. So if that's the case, we'll see which one I share next time. So let me see here. Let's get our special guests on. We've got Jaxon. Hi, Jaxon.
Hello.
How are you doing? Get Sarita on here, and let's see if we have Winna. I'm not sure if we have Winna yet. I don't see her just yet, but as soon as she's on, and let's see, Winna, if you're on under a different name or something, put a message in the chat and we'll get you on here. All right, so thank you so much, Jaxon and Sarita. So Jaxon and Sarita are 2 of the 3 co-founders of Glow and Gather, and Jaxon is on our board. So thanks so much for being here today. Jaxon, do you want to start with kind of a hello to get us going?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jaxon. I'm a board member of Green Tree Academy and a co-founder of Glow and Gather, and I'm excited to be here.
Terrific. All right, Sarita.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Again, I'm co-founder of Glow and Gather, and I'm so happy to be one of the tree sponsors for Green Team Academy.
Do you guys want to tell about how that sponsorship is working, the tree planting? And I think Vicky just popped the chat or the link into the chat.
Sure, Jax, do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to?
I think you, yeah.
Okay. So we are planting trees for every donation. I believe it's $25 or more. We are going to be planting a tree through One Tree Planted. And we decided to, for our portion, because Trinity Forestry Services is doing planting trees too. We are going to go through One Tree Planted and plant trees in India as part of our, because that's our heritage and that's where we're from. So we decided to tie that in to the Global Climate Challenge and plant trees in India.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So we're excited. So I think we're up to 180 trees right now.
Exciting.
And yeah, so our goal is to get to 1,000 by the end of December. So anybody that can pop in, all the better. Okay, let's see here. I'm looking in the chat. I don't see yet Winna's note. Oh, wait a second. Winna, oh, okay, I didn't see. All right, cool. Let me grab Winna's. There she is. Yay. Hi, Winna.
Hi, I'm not sure if I'm a panelist yet.
Yes, you are. You're on. Yes, we've got you on screen. So thank you. Took me a second to figure that out. Yeah, that's working awesome. All right. I like our team Denver area that we've got going here. Woo! So excited to feature the teams today. So I wanted to introduce Winna. She is the Director of Communications and Community Engagement for the City and County of Denver's Office of Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resiliency. And we're so happy to have you with us here today, Winna.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And we have been collaborating with the Denver Sustainability Group for a long time under different initiatives. And so before we hop in to talk about what our teams have done, we just wanted to hear a little bit about the Denver CASR office, as it's called, and what you guys are up to. And then we will get into announcing the teams.
Great. Well, just to say hello to everyone, my name is Winna Maclaren. I am the Manager of Communications and Engagement for the Office of Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resiliency. As Joan said, we affectionately refer to ourselves as CASR. So just a real brief history of CASR. Our team has been, as it is as CASR for about a year and some change now. Our first birthday was July of this past summer. But prior to being CASR, we were the Office of Sustainability. And so Denver created that office in, I believe, 2013 with 3 team members. And so over the years, it's grown to be obviously more of a priority and much more of a concerted effort to weave sustainability, not in just to how the city functions, but also to make sure that we are acting with urgency to address climate change. So currently our office has grown to 28 team members. And continues to grow, and I think we're going to add additional 10 team members or so by the end of next year. So we are growing very quickly, very mighty team dedicated to all things climate action. So our objectives in a nutshell are to act with urgency to address climate change, build resiliency for our communities, decarbonize our buildings, making sure that we are adhering to science-based strategies and targets. We actually recently adopted a new goal to get to 100% emissions reductions by 2040. So really big goals that we have for our city and for our residents. And then of course, 2 big pieces of that work are to engage our stakeholders and to do so in a way that we are centering our work in equity. And so one of the big projects of our office is called the Climate Protection Fund, and I'll give a few more details about that here in a moment. But that was really born of stakeholder engagement, of the community coming together and saying and recognizing the need for us to really be a lot more aggressive and doing what it is that we need to do to get those emissions reductions down. So it's really, I like to say, woven into our DNA. We really do value our stakeholders, their engagement, their input, and a lot of times their expertise if they do fall into certain categories of buildings or homes or renewable energy. And so we do like to bring those people together so that we understand, as we're sort of making these changes to get to where we need to go, that we're doing so in a way that makes sense for those that will be most affected. Getting to the Climate Protection Fund, before that, a big part of what our office does is work in policy. And so we have passed a number of policies, ordinances. A lot of them have been geared towards reducing our waste. And so if you're in Denver, you might be familiar with the bag fee that recently went into effect over the summer. We also have upcoming ordinances that will further reduce our waste and get plastic out of Denver as much as possible. If you've
Awesome.
been watching the news in Denver, you also have seen that we recently passed Energize Denver, which is to reduce, decarbonize our buildings and reduce about 80% of the building's emissions, which are responsible for half of emissions in Denver by 2040 as well. And then really quickly, our climate protection fund that I alluded to earlier, that provides up to $40 million annually for our office to spend on projects. And we do that at the intersection of environmental justice and climate action. And so part of what that fund, what we need to do with that fund, the voters said we need to spend at least 50% of those dollars to communities that are most vulnerable to climate change. And so we really do take that seriously, and we look through all of the potential projects and investments that we can make with our climate protection fund dollars in a way that is equitable, in a way that really either removes or prevents harm to those vulnerable populations. That those funding dollars can be used in what we call 6 allowable uses, and those are buildings and homes, climate adaptation and resiliency, environmental justice, renewable energy, sustainable transportation, and workforce development.
Wow. We're so proud of Denver. I mean, there's so many amazing things that are happening, and especially that climate protection fund, to actually have money coming in and to be dedicating it in such a big way for climate justice. It's a model that everybody out there could be using. And what Winna said is that came about because of stakeholders. And so this idea of getting together, getting to know people, demonstrating that you care, and using your voice, this can really have big impacts. So
Absolutely.
and that's what we're all about here. So yeah, and I'm just looking in the chat here. Welcome to everybody. We have folks from Egypt and Mexico and Kenya, Senegal, Uganda. Thank you, everybody, and the US as well. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And Jaxon and Sarita, if you guys want to come back on camera, you are welcome to. And so what we're going to do now is just when I was going to just read through the awards that we have, and then we're going to go ahead and show you some of the videos and the photos from some of the teams.
Awesome. So do I go ahead and start?
Yeah, go for it.
Awesome. Okay. So honorable mentions. So team 34, we have team 34, Highline Permaculture project. And this is for starting a community-based project to transform a spot along the Highline Canal into a community garden and gathering place.
Woo! Team 34.
We also have team 60, Pinnacle Charter School Green Team. And this is for rehabilitating the school garden at Pinnacle Charter School in Federal Heights. Congratulations.
Yay.
Team 70, Climate Change Theater Action Denver. And this is for producing and hosting a climate cabaret and launching greener theater movement in Denver. That sounds like fun.
It was so fun. I got to go to their opening climate cabaret thing.
Congrats.
Yes.
All right. So our Denver Eco Champion Award winners, team 56, Jovial Concepts, for their innovative Leave the Leaves Alone project. This is where they educated 250 neighbors about the value of composting leaves. Awesome stuff. Great job. And then team 57, Radical Collaboration River Cleanup. And this is for their work with dozens of partners to remove 2 tons of trash from Colorado. Well done.
Yay! Big round of applause for all of our Denver area award winners. And yeah, we're so excited about this because we think that what we're doing here and empowering folks to have this kind of voice, and the Denver programs like the Climate Protection Fund, that we're a natural partner to take this idea. We've got 5 teams this year. Love to keep adding zeros, 50, 500, 5,000. Let's just do it up. So yeah, so let's go ahead and I will show you a bit more about some of the teams. So the Highline Permaculture project, this is kind of fun because I was part of the initial one. This came out of our permaculture design course. And Dr. Violeta Garcia has a piece of land that borders the Highline Canal. And she is an awesome community organizer. And then now she's on the Highline Conservancy. And so they are going for grants and looking at how to make this spot a community garden, how to make it safer crossings for the people that use this area. So that is a very cool one. The next one that was mentioned was the Pinnacle Green Team. And, you know, this was some teachers who had this idea, and their numbers are amazing. They were able to engage 298 elementary students, 24 middle school students, and 8 high school students to come in. And okay, that's a carrot. That's so cute. And be able to work in the garden. And, you know, our whole message is that we find that you are the expert on your own community. If you see something and it's driving you crazy, like, why is nobody doing that garden? That you're the one to put a team together and make it happen. Megan's story is really cool too. Her background, she's an audio engineer at the Denver Performing Arts Center and also a big sustainability fan. So when she had a class project at her university and needed to do something, she was like, I'm going to do it with theater. So they did this whole climate change theater. We have the links to all this here. This performance is streaming live. You can go watch the streaming version through December 18th. There was original music, participatory events, and just like such a beautiful way to put that message. So each person is doing this in a way that makes sense for them. So now we're on, so those were all of our honorable mention awards. We're now going on to our 2 Eco Champion Award winners. And just to let you know, the difference in those is in both cases, they make a big impact, but we reserve the Eco Champion Awards for those who go the extra step and document their progress, and they tell their story with a video and with details that we can be sharing. Because what we know is that one way to get people to take action is to be able to tell our stories. So that's kind of the next level. And so now I'm going to go ahead and show you the video from the Jovial Concepts team. So here we go.
Have you been curious about activities you can do around your neighborhood to positively affect climate change? For 10 years, Jovial Gardens has been turning lawns to gardens in the Denver metro area. We're super passionate about climate action and the environment. This fall, we reached out to our community to share information about the benefits of not raking fallen leaves. Leaf litter is home to many important insects in our ecosystem, and these insects provide our bird population with plenty of food. Allowing your leaves to decompose naturally provides vital nutrients to the soil, improving the health of your lawn and garden landscape. We believe climate action is a community effort and hope to empower our neighbors to make positive change. Our hope is to encourage our community to become more environmentally sustainable, making real change in a small amount of time. We want these actions to become established practices in our community. Jovial Concepts. Creating a sustainable global future.
Joan, you're muted.
Thank you, Jaxon. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that Jovial Concepts team was able to get out there. They took a small idea and then just put it into practice in their community. So you guys, panelists, you're welcome to to jump in with any comments as I get the next Eco Champion Award winner up. I'm going to make sure that you guys are all unmuted in case I accidentally muted you along the way. Or myself. Okay. All right. So the next team is the Radical Collaboration River Cleanup. I've gotten to participate in so many of these. There's me. That's what's nice about having the Denver teams, is that I was able to go to that, the Climate Action Change Theater, and then be part of this Radical Collaboration River Cleanup. And so were Sarita and Jaxon. Yeah, I guess maybe we're not all in this picture. And also Carola from Glow and Gather. Ginny, one of our new crew that's coming on. But yeah, let me go ahead and just play their video first.
The Radical Collaboration River Cleanup removed 4,000 pounds of trash from Colorado waterways. How did we do it? We didn't do it alone. We collaborated with 21 community partners, businesses, government departments, nonprofits, and community organizations. It's an incredible feat to remove 2 tons of trash, but is it enough? 209 volunteers donated 500 hours during this challenge. We can't stop now. Our model is to build community, take action, and create change. Help us use these actions to work with our policy partners to pressure our governments to legislate better environmental policies. We must create change proactively, but we can't do it alone. Join us. Be radically collaborative. Together, we can create an exponential impact in the world.
All right. So thank you so much to all of our teams. And in that case right there with our Radical Collaboration River Cleanup, we ended up having so many volunteers that we almost had more volunteers than trash that we were able to find at that location. And so we adjusted. The next cleanup was out in Aurora, along the Highline Canal. And so I think that's the thing, is that you don't really have to know how to do it all, but just to go ahead, dive in and make an impact in any way that you can. And I also wanted to say that, Jaxon and Sarita, the way that you guys started your business was a similar thing, right? That you just had an idea of something that was needed and started what I think of as a green business. Jaxon, do you want to say a word about that? Because I think a lot of the projects that we're talking about were more volunteer based, but I think not remembering that, yeah, let's make this our livelihood too, that your example is really cool.
So once we started our business, it was kind of like we tried to use stuff that was really healthy for other people's skin, and that was all natural, which started us on that green path. And then a couple years in, we were like, what if we try to go mostly all green? And that was our first kind of idea. And ever since we partnered with Green Tree Academy, we've done stuff with one plant for the planet, and we've been just doing a lot of stuff and like that, and we've been trying to cut down on our carbon footprint. So it's just been a really cool experience through all of that.
I agree. And also, thank you, Jaxon. And Sarita, do you want to mention too, just maybe kind of even the start of this, because this idea that each of us, we see something that needs to happen, And so what was kind of the start of Glow and Gather as a business?
And I think that's just it. I think the start was that for us as individuals, we needed to create change in our own lives. And then because of that, from needing to take out the toxins for ourselves and creating a greener, healthier life for ourselves, from careless skincare to my epilepsy, that this is something then that we needed to share, and how easy those steps could be. And also if we could create these products that we could share too, and how simple we could just slowly just start to make those changes. And we wanted to be able to share that, that message and the products, and then how else can you keep going, and that everyone can make those small changes, and it's those small changes that add up.
Yeah.
And then how can we keep on creating those greater impacts? And I think once you start, you can start making those bigger changes.
Yeah, and I think that the fact that you did it with two, I mean, Jackson's in middle school, but I mean, I think in elementary school, that shows it's like to be a business owner, to take an idea, move it forward, that to don't think you have to know all that stuff ahead of time. Just be confident in your figure out ability.
Right. And I think that's just exactly it, because we didn't know anything. I mean, really, we just kind of figure it out as we go. We still don't know anything. We just kind of figure it out as we go along. I mean, really. But it is just taking the small steps. And I think that's what's so great about Green Team Academy's concept is, you know, your community, and you take those steps in your community, and it makes the big impact. And then keep making those changes where they need to be made.
Exactly. And I think it all kind of loops back around, because I think for me in particular, I started in engineering, and I didn't really think that community projects, engineers, that's just the way that we're trained. We're just going to go in and fix things. And, it doesn't really work. It just really doesn't work. And so to understand, one of the things we talk about is this engagement ladder, is if you want to change the laws, start by getting a group of people together. If you go pick up trash, you're going to see what is actually happening. And you're going to be so much more passionate and relatable when you go speak to city council about this is what needs to happen. So it loops back to, why the Denver CASR office is doing so much good is because people actually got involved, and being able now to hire all those folks and have that money to work on it. So maybe just looping back to you, Winna, is there any kind of final comment that you want to mention before we wrap up this section?
Oh, absolutely. And I think you said it all well here. Is it really getting engaged, at any level? I know we always think, well, what is this small thing going to do? What's this small project, how it's going to work? And there's that intangible, right, of people getting together around something that they care about, having that enthusiasm and excitement to create change in their communities, for their communities. Yes, it does lead to results oftentimes, but I think that intangible aspect of human connection, of people getting together, caring about their community, it goes beyond, right, just greening our communities. And I think wherever we can make that possible is great.
I agree. And I think especially, and I know Glow and Gather does a lot around mental health. And I think all of us, especially now, having gone through the pandemic and going through it, the isolation and the upheaval, that we really need each other, and being able to find ways that we can actually just get outside and work on things together. It's really more valuable than ever, or meet people remotely and have those kinds of friendships around things that you really care deeply about, is what we're all about too. I see a couple other countries popped in here, Sudan and Nigeria, Egypt. Like, it's just so fun to have this kind of shared, really meaningful space to be a part of. All right, so thanks Team Denver. Thanks to all of our award winners, Vicki and Heather, and everybody that that did such great work. All right, so thanks everybody, and we'll go on to our next section here. I might have to, if you guys are staying on, I'll figure out how to change you back to a attendee. There we go. All right, I think we got that going now. Hey, okay, cool. So let's see here. What are we up to next? I hope you guys are having fun. And yes, thank you so much. Heather is here with the Pinnacle Green Team. I'm obviously trying to think of too many things at once here. Lee from our permaculture team. Yes. So thanks everyone. I'm going to go ahead and let's look at our schedule and see what the heck we're going to do next. Not that I don't already know. But I kind of don't. Okay. All right. So now we are on to our second session here, which is actually Kenya and Zambia. So we're going to be talking about our honorable mentions and then our Eco Champion Awards. And let's see here if I'm going to stop the share. Let's see if I can find Mika. If Mika is in our, there's Mika. Mika's in Kenya. I want to bring him on screen with me. Hi, Mika. Not sure if he's able. Mika's in Kenya. Mika, if you're able to unmute yourself and come on and talk, then feel free. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our Kenyan and Zambian challengers. So as I was saying before, the difference between a honorable mention and an Eco Champion Award winner is that if we have a video and we're able to really clearly tell somebody's story, then that's when we go to the Eco Champion Award. And so of our teams, the first one that we want to mention is, and hi, Mika, before we do that, did you want to say hello?
Hello, how are you?
We're doing great.
Okay, thank you. And to everyone, I welcome you to this session. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is a good one. So Mika, how about let's start by talking. Do you want to give some background? You spoke with Jeffrey quite a bit, the Mabinju Powerhouse Youth Group in Kenya. Did you want to say anything about what their project was about?
Yes, I can share something about Mabinju Powerhouse Youth Group in Kenya. This group is led by Geoffrey, and what they're doing a great job here in Kenya because they're working with the communities to see that food production is maintained, because they work with community, share with them, and train them on how to start their demo gardens, and also he's also planting trees in schools. And what I say is that this is just the beginning, because he had a lot in mind to do. Like now he's working on more than 10 tree nurseries, and today he launches something that I will share maybe tomorrow. It's called carbon edit. So they're working, he's partnering with the UN to encourage people to plant more trees in their homesteads, community, or government government facilities like hospitals and all that. So Mabenjo is doing something great.
Yes.
That's
And
all
there
I can share.
last year our Mabinju team planted 30,000 trees. This year it's 36,000. And one of the really cool things that the Mabinju group has done is they went to the Kakuma refugee camp and found that people did not have enough food. And so
Yes.
they went in and taught and trained people on permaculture. So Jeffrey's been getting trained on permaculture and syntropic agroforestry. And so they went in and trained the people there who are pretty much stuck there of the principles of permaculture. And not only did they just do a training, but they actually built, which I think we can see here, they built some demonstration gardens while they were there. And, you know, we like to talk about.
Okay, they call them.
Yeah. Go ahead.
John.
Yeah.
They call them silo gardens. The ones you are seeing in the picture.
Oh, okay. What are they called?
Silo gardens. Silo gardens.
Silo gardens. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we like to kind of contrast, you know, people know about the COP26 where world leaders traveled and talked. And during that same amount of time, we've got people like Jeffrey on the ground who said, hey, there's people in a refugee camp. They don't have enough food. I know permaculture. Why don't we train them to be permaculturists and to use this time when they are stuck there to actually learn an amazing skill and put it into action. So we're pretty excited about what's happening there. So our two other projects, we don't have a profile yet up. One of them that I wanted to mention is the Kipapeo Green Heritage team. And this is also in Kenya. And I love that their hashtag is Go Fruity. So Mika, would you like to say a little bit about the Kipapeo team?
Okay, for Kipapeo Green Heritage, they are here in Kenya, but I tried several times contacting Wanjiku, but I just think that maybe she was stuck in some other stuff working on. But for the brief period that we talked with her, from the picture that we are seeing on our screens, shows that she is planting trees with the schools and also working on demo gardens. That is permaculture, planting trees in schools and doing the demo gardens. John, I don't have much information about her, but that's
yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Right. And that's part of, that's part of why we wanted to make sure to give awards to some of the teams that we know are out there. We can see that they're busy there, but we weren't able to get a video to be able to share with you exactly what they're doing. But, we wanted to at least give them kudos because I believe that Grace and her, Wanjiku and Grace planted 5,000 trees earlier in the year before the challenge. And then they planted another 8,500 fruit trees at schools during that 90-day period. So congratulations to the Kipapeo team. And the last one, which also we don't have a profile created for them yet, but is Earth Guardian Zambia. And Earth Guardian Zambia, this is their second time through the challenge. They, Darwin came with this idea of, I want to plant 10,000 trees. I don't know where to start, and started in the Green Team Academy. He's now on our board, and Earth Guardian Zambia came about last year, and they are now working they're with a group of people who have a goal of planting 1 million trees. So they were able to plant 100 trees during the challenge. So congratulations also to Earth Guardian Zambia. All right, so now we're going to move on to our award winners. And the next one is Mika's team, which is Pachamama Alliance Kenya. So we're going to go ahead and just play the video first, and then we'll be able to, okay, where's the video? It's loading. Hopefully it'll appear any second here. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and play this.
Tree nurseries kawachako kata mana sani an gadier ni joma ne ok gibiro rengo biro mondo gidwar seedlings from us. Aeto wabiro chako yudo pesa kama wabet. So wanyalo time as income generating activity. Gini puonje nyim joma riek tek katemo. Trees are also used as housing materials as well as homes for the poor of air, wild animals, count them, and this is tourist attraction centers.
Yay! Congratulations, Mika, on the Pachamama Alliance Kenya. So Mika, do you want to say a little bit more about what you're doing there? One of the things I really love about the Pachamama Alliance Kenya team is that we've got some brothers on there, Mika and Tom, and also that their video that they use both the native language as well as English to really kind of spread their reach. So would you like to say a little bit about how your team has come together and some of the things that you've been working on, Mika?
Okay, Pachamama Alliance Kenya. We started it just with a few volunteers, and we thought that we need to do something for our community because climate change was a threat to our community. So we came up with an idea of planting trees. Besides planting trees in the community, we reached out to schools. We engaged them in planting trees at the same time, even the church-based organizations. We also did that with the churches because climate change is something that cannot be tackled by an individual. We need to come together as different kinds of people, communities, individuals, and other organizations, so that will make it very easy for us to deal with this problem of climate change. Okay, we are also working on bamboo. We are planting bamboo.
Okay.
And even right now, we are also doing something because what we've done as past, and we need to focus ahead. We are working on food sustainability. Right now, we are, next week, we'll be launching or doing a pilot test on 3 demo gardens in primary schools that is within our community. And after setting that up, that demo gardens in those schools, we'll also do a survey on our food production and dietary, the way people, how the communities, where they get their food, the kind of food that they eat. This will help us, let's say next year, to do more research on food sustainability and what we can work on that is more beneficial to the community and other people around, because After COVID, it was a mess. Most of people were at home. Some lost their jobs, and we just wanted to keep them busy because as a result of job loss, some people get depressions and all that. So by helping them come up with them a perma gardens or kitchen gardens, this what I think will keep them busy and let them get enough food and nutritious food at hand. So this is what we are doing as at now, Joan, and our plans for next year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for that work that you're doing. And, again, here's another example of people that aren't necessarily trained in this. It's not that it's your area of expertise to start with, but then when you see, wow, people are going through the pandemic, they need food, they need something productive to do, where they're suffering with their mental health. I have an idea, and you took action. And I think the other thing that I really like is that you guys started. So in addition to planting the 3,600 trees, yay, that starting 3 eco clubs at schools.
Yeah.
My feeling is that environmental education, from when I was a kid, we were learning about biology and all these things. What kids are learning now is how desperate the situation is. And that's a terrible place to leave someone. So instead of just telling them about it, let's give them a way to get their hands in the dirt, be part of the solution, and feel better and see the fruits of their labor literally right at their door. And so excellent work of setting a model. All right, so let's talk about the Santa Lu project, another one of our a really exciting project. This is Karen Gartner and Simon Mason, who are working in the remote Maasai land in Kenya on dry composting toilet. So let's go ahead and watch their video.
Over 4.2 billion people lack access to safe sanitation. Poor sanitation contributes to disease and groundwater contamination. Climate change and toilets, what strange bedfellows, you might be thinking. And yet, sanitary systems that are able to mitigate and adapt to the changing demands made by climate change do exist. Sustainable sanitation systems can reuse waste to safely boost agriculture, and others can reduce and capture emissions for greener energy. Hi, I'm Karen Gardner from Sanilu by Dusty Footprint Journeys. We work in the remote rural Majimoto community in South Narok, Maasai Land, Kenya, with our partner Kikrukur Primary School in the Kikrukur village. During our 90-day challenge, we held 2 demo days and we plan to build 3 toilets by end of quarter 2022. From there, our goal is to help 2 more villages build toilets in 2022. To join us, please reach out to us as per our contact details. Asheoleng.
Wow, this project has been so amazing. Karen has overcome so many obstacles. She is out in a very remote area, yes, in Kenya, where the pictures that she sent of her camp, she doesn't have electricity, she doesn't have water, she doesn't have access to transportation. And in the background, there's pictures of zebras and wildebeest. So you think about someone who sees something that needs to happen and is just doing it and going that extra mile to also create a video. And her stories of trying to access internet or access electricity or transportation, it's just incredible. This is what privilege is those of us who have access to those things, that someone like Karen and also Simon that are doing this work to provide safe and biologically, like environmentally friendly ways for sanitation. It's just so important. I know, Mika, that you've talked to or coordinated with Karen a bit on that too.
Yes. Okay,
Is there
just to
anything you want to add?
yes, I can say something. What Karen is doing is great, and it's challenging to us like Kenyans, because you find that somebody, she's from Denmark. She came all the way from that far and just to come and do something. She was touched with the lives of the community living there. Sure, she came and just get involved despite all the challenges, and that shows that let me describe her that she has a big heart and courageous. That's so good.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so again, a big round of applause to all of our teams from Kenya and Zambia for stepping up and doing all this. And again, we like to count the numbers. For example, that our teams altogether planted 150,000 trees during this 90-day period. But we know that really it's, as Winna was saying earlier, it's more of those soft benefits of, for these kids, knowing that the adults in their lives really care about them and are thinking about their future and taking action for their future. And that's what we're about here at Green Team Academy. And we would love if you would support us and plant a tree. Do a $25 donation to get a tree. We'll plant a tree in your honor, but it will really help us to continue. I want to mention that our next session that's coming up is we're doing a happy hour. And so during that session, that will be a Zoom link. And maybe, Vicky, we can put that in the chat there. Actually, I have it here too. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be meeting on Zoom, and you'll be able to hop into a breakout room and meet some of the people that are here from around the world. And after that session, we'll have another webinar, and we'll be talking about how you can join us for the 2022 challenge, how you can apply to be on our board, apply to be a volunteer, because we really do see that this is something that is, I don't want to say the world needs, but it's something that we can fill a need in the world right now, and we can do it with your help. So, all right, I'm just going to check here on the chat. There was a question, are we going to do certificates of participation? No, we are not. We do certificates for our challengers, but not for participating in this event in particular. And and I see there's some other people. Let's see. So Chris, who is with Team XR Benue in Nigeria, their team planted 500 trees. We'd love to have you be part of the challenge next year and be part of Green Team Academy. So I think we're going to go ahead and stop here and then join back on the Zoom meeting, the happy hour, in a few minutes. Anything that you wanted to mention, Mika, before we go?
I just want to congratulate every team that made it to this far, because it took them time, effort, and even other resources to be online every day, every week, live meeting, and it's so great.
Yeah,
I thank them all. Yes.
It's not easy. There's a lot of obstacles that we know people are facing, with the pandemic and everything else that comes their way. So we really appreciate being able to tell their stories and show other people that you can make an impact, no matter what your circumstances are. All right. Okay. And thanks, Mika, for doing all the outreach and for helping us really get to this point and gather all these stories. Okay. So see you everybody in a few minutes on our Zoom meeting. You'll be able to be on camera there. And so we'll look forward to seeing you at the top of the hour.